Kamala Harris, who is the Vice President of the US, has won enough delegate votes to secure the Democratic presidential nomination, according to an announcement by the Democratic National Committee Chair, Jamie Harrison. The DNC will not make an official announcement of results until Monday evening, when the virtual voting process closes for delegates to next month's Democratic National Convention. Now, Harris would be the first black woman and first Indian American in American history to secure a major political party's presidential nomination. Here's a report by Nick Harper that was sent to us from Washington, D.C. Democratic delegates are holding an unusual pre-convention, in fact, a virtual vote in order to finalize their nomination before a ballot access.
And before I was elected a United States Senator, I was an elected Attorney General and an elected District Attorney.
Kamala Harris joining the race now, and President Biden, of course, exiting the race. How does that change the scenario, the electoral scenario for the presidential elections in the United States?
Well, I mean, I think it completely upended the way things were heading. In the weeks before Biden dropped out, almost all of the oxygen in the campaign was about Biden's age and whether he was up to the task and whether he had any chance of winning. And then the Republicans were very sort of had kind of a triumphal convention, and they were talking about sweeping the Congress, and the Democrats were feeling really gloomy. You started having some big donors withholding campaign contributions, and it was generally looking pretty bleak. When Biden dropped out and immediately endorsed Harris, and everybody sort of in the party sort of quickly coalesced around her, it just flipped the script, because I think a lot of Democrats were, as I said, feeling really borderline hopeless about the trajectory of the campaign. And this was kind of like a shot in the arm, created a lot of enthusiasm, really impressive and quick donations, apparently on the order of 200 million in the first week in terms of campaign contributions to Harris. The polls started showing her more or less even with Trump, whereas Biden had been running consistently behind in most of the swing states. So in the short run, at least, it rejuvenated the Democratic campaign. I mean, it's hard to say how it will play out in the longer run, because, you know, she hasn't run a campaign like this before. And the Republicans hadn't really been directing their fire at her. And now they were obviously thrown off balance in a big way by this. And then after that, you know, you had the really shaky introduction of J.D. Vance as Trump's vice presidential candidate and the gaffes that he's committed. And so as a consequence, so far, she hasn't really sort of endured an aggressive campaign, focus by the Republicans and by the media. But that is sure to come.